those are the people who dealt with Jay-Z directly, telling you, oh, you better take that money. This week on Hip Hop Stocks, where we use the music we love to explain the stock market. This week, music is up, as the short squeeze has seemingly reached its plateau. The release of the anticipated Donda and Certified Lover Boy albums have propelled the hip-hop stock market to all-time highs. Now is the moment for you to take profits. All you stockholders, and not only Kanye and Drake, but every single artist that's seen a jolt due to being a feature or being caught up in the hype. Yes, Kendrick could still drop and continue this squeeze, but without anything more than a feature with Baby Keem as promotion at this point, there's a strong chance that that isn't coming anytime soon. This is why you invest 125 shares minimum, for when it's time for you to take profit, you can sell off half and then keep the rest to add more to it later. And I must say, it's been a hell of a ride, witnessing Kanye's genius and creativity with his rollout to go along with his cowardice and lack of preparation with his music. That was a crazy dynamic. Learning that Drake was out for revenge and was plugged in with Kanye's boss, so much so that he knew Kanye's moves before he even did them. That was next level. Things took an interesting turn with Drake leaking Kanye's diss track, therefore I don't think this one is over and more music is to come, but this moment just may be the peak. Let's not forget that there was more to this week than just Drake and Kanye. Shang-Chi, the movie soundtrack, dropped, as I hear the actual movie was fire. There were some solid tracks on there, including an Anderson .Paak solo track. And then Sway Lee and Jhené Aiko dropped something pretty solid on that joint as well. Big 30 dropped The King of Kill Branch, if you haven't heard of him. He's trying to be the next big trapper. And this project was featuring all the big names, but not featuring actual skill. Bobby Shmurda made a long-awaited, heavily overshadowed single, No Time to Sleep, the freestyle. And this is why you don't compete with the blue chip stocks. But a freestyle is not what was needed here. Bobby, you need a hit. And you shouldn't be leaving that studio until you got one. But let's go ahead and look at some of the biggest trending stocks for this week. Jay-Z is up, but this week has been a bit of a mixed bag, as he was featured on both Certified Lover Boy and Donda, with both verses getting praise from the masses. Neither made my playlist, but I give props where they are due. When all that matters is bars, Jay-Z usually leads the way, as he did drop some solid verses. These led to some interesting memes when people begun to ask, would you rather have $500,000 or a dinner with Jay-Z? And the obvious answer to this is you take the money. Why would you take advice on how to get in the game than actually getting into the game? Even Tidal said, you better take that money. Some people are saying that that was Jay-Z on the corporate account, but Jay sold his stake in Tidal. Those are the people who dealt with Jay-Z directly, telling you, oh, you better take that money. Now that was the good, the funny, and now for the bad. This ad right here, promoted by Tiffany Jeweler, who is owned by LVMH, or Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy, the owners of all things luxuriously too expensive that Jay-Z sold half the rights of his Ace of Spades to, and clearly has become a frontman for. This ad is getting a lot of criticism, starting with the artwork in the background, which is a previously unseen Basquiat painting. A lot of people, including the late artist's girlfriend, found it very distasteful that it was used as a prop instead of being leased out to a museum for people to see. How I feel about it? He paid for it, didn't he? He can do what he wants. That is what is called ownership. But let's continue with the awkwardness of this ad, as the necklace that Beyonce is wearing was traced back to being a blood diamond. It's a 128 karat stone that was mined in 1877 in South Africa's Kimberley diamond mine. It is definitely a conflict stone, or diamonds that are mined in Africa with violence and death towards our people. Later, Beyonce came out with outrage, claiming that she didn't even know, and you know, I would give her the benefit of a doubt. But come on, your man is working for the richest people in the world. Who do you really think are the people profiting off of blood diamonds? Your man has sold out black people at every turn. I wonder why he hasn't made a statement of outrage around this. As I said numerous times, Jay-Z is a bought and paid for sellout. So how are we playing this stock? I long since sold this because I prefer my stocks to have consciousness. But if you are a long-term stockholder, then hold. This isn't bad enough to break this stock, but believe me, these people he is signing deals with will eventually sabotage this stock when he has no more use. Be ready for it when the crash comes. But for now, you're still going to run up some change. Fat Joe is down. When he should be gearing up for a career rebound, instead he continues to expose himself. Right now, Fat Joe is going on a promotional campaign for his Verzuz battle with Ja Rule. That will be taking place September the 14th. So in an interview, Fat Joe says that if Ja Rule does any antics like how Styles P did Joel Santana, then there's going to be a serious issue. Even though he clearly didn't see what happened between the two. No, Jadakiss didn't smack off Joel Santana's bandana. Clearly. But basically Fat Joe is saying that he's a sore loser and he can't handle it, so therefore he's trying to limit Ja Rule's set based on his emotions. One thing that I learned over my lifetime is you cannot dictate the clapback. And when you enter the competitive arena, there are no rules besides win. Let's keep it 100. You out here wanting Ja Rule on some music business? But you aren't saying anything about the paperwork that Cuban Link put out with your name on it as an informant. So as a gangster, you can try to check someone trying to put on an entertainment event, but do nothing to someone who's dragging your name in the mud on those same streets that you were saying will confront Ja Rule. I don't believe you. Until you truly address this, then whoever's riding with you needs to be questioned as well. Sure, he has the money, just like I said in my Kanye Life of the Party stream. It's nothing for people with the funds to target anyone. But if that person with money is a known informant, then that ability dries up for everyone with common sense. So keep your veiled threats to yourself. If I were Ja Rule, I would press up the paperwork as flyers. But you know, I'm a savage. I would go as far as putting Big Pun's son on a new track to lead up to the event. I would go as hard on Fat Joe as I should have gone on 50 Cent, because if anyone knows how bad this could go, it would be Ja Rule. So no mercy. How are we playing this stop? Until this paperwork is directly addressed by Fat Joe, he's banned from the market. You should never take someone lightly who has documents of his cooperation with the enemy of our culture dating back to the origins of it. Will I watch the Verzuz? I might catch some highlights, but I can't say that I'm excited for it. The game is down because you can't ignore your problems away. So in 2015, the game had a VH1 reality show called She Got Game. Instead of the success that Few has obtained during that time period, the game instead caught a sexual assault lawsuit. Now I must ask you, is sexual assault a crime? Yes. So why isn't the game charged and sent to jail like individuals like, say, Mystical? They arrested DMX until the DNA evidence came out exonerating him. All I'm saying is, why is money the issue here if sexual assault was the crime against you? It raises questions, don't it? Reminds me of something that someone would do, doesn't it? False claims to secure a check because you are beautiful enough to get in the room and entertainers are stupid. But how stupid was the game here? The answer is very. Instead of showing up for court to defend himself, he didn't show up and they awarded her $7.1 million. The game has been ducking it ever since, but every so often she goes back to the judge and is awarded rights to more of the game's income. This time they seized his Cash App and that yielded over $2,000. Not the bag that she is clearly wanting, but I didn't even know that they could do that. Makes you question how much money you should keep in your Cash App now, doesn't it? On top of this, they granted her the game's royalties from the Sound Exchange and from E1. But let's keep it 100. She's trying to squeeze blood from a stone. Maybe the game had $7 million at his peak of his rap career, but if you could only get $2,000 from his Cash App, then you were never going to get it because he clearly doesn't have it. This is the equivalency of a guy that's ducking his baby moms, all because you didn't take it serious enough to show up with a lawyer. So how are we playing this stock? Another stock I sold a long time ago because the quality of music dropped. We're using this as a learning experience though, so class is in session. If Nike will show up because of Lil Nas X Devil sneakers, then you aren't too big to show up for court either.